In order to discuss what's wrong with the Levan Saginashvili presence in the super heavyweight division, let's take a look at what Hermes said about Levan.
About Levan, I think the biggest problem for all the guys is the weight difference.
Okay.
No, because 60 kilo, 50 kilo difference.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
This is the main problem for us.
There is one problem here. We cannot introduce another weight category. Levan is a super heavyweight and he has the right to be as heavy as he wants, as heavy as he can possibly be. Some people say that UFC has a 265-pound weight cap. It is not because they want to prevent the bigger guys from having some unfair advantage against the lighter weight guys. It's because the bigger guys suck in MMA. They're not as good. It is unpleasant to watch. But it's not the same case with arm wrestling. In arm wrestling, your weight actually helps you. I'm telling you, if a 350-pound guy can possibly dominate the UFC super heavyweight division, he would be allowed to compete there. But there is no one who's that big and that good. So we cannot introduce a new weight category for Levan. We cannot upscale the 115 kg category. We cannot move that weight to, let's say, 125 or 130. Because the top 5 guys that will be dominating the 125 kg category, they all can already cut down to 115 if they want to. Hermes Gasparini can do that. Devin Larratt can do that. Dave Chaffee is already doing that. I think Denis Siplenkov can also be top 5 in the 115 kg division if he wants to. So there is no point in having another weight category. I'm not saying Hermes is calling for it, but he's mentioning Levan's weight as an advantage for him, which it is. But we cannot do anything about that. There were some hopes that the fans had to see Levan losing. It was from the pressers and the Kings movers, and all of those hopes have already been crushed by Levan. We had Jerry Caderet absolutely dismantled by Levan. He couldn't do anything. Even though Camille is much stronger than Jerry, I don't think he also can do anything against Levan. We had the best Kings mover Devin Larratt against Levan, and he couldn't even get to the Kings move. So Levan doesn't even let you use your move. He didn't let the presser use his press. He didn't let the Kings mover use his Kings move. Traditional top roll doesn't work. Even when top rollers like Hermes Gasparini try to become flop pressers against Levan after sensing some blood in their first match, Levan shut down that move too. He didn't let Hermes use his flop press. And now the hook is the only option left. But there are no hookers in the super heavyweight division. Morozov is the only one, but he had to do a flop wrist side pressure sweep against Alex Kurdecha. If his wrist is getting opened up by Kurdecha, there is absolutely no chance that he's going to hook Levan Saginashvili. So practically, there is no possible way to defeat Levan. We just have to wait for him to retire, to get bored, and eventually slowly fade away into the near GOAT status. Only then someone else can become the #1 arm wrestler in the world. Or the other option, wait for Levan to get old. But none of these options seem to be in the very near future. And yeah, I forgot to talk about the Dexter Tan comment about Levan Saginashvili. Levan had clearly mentioned that he will be competing only in December, not before that.
Left. No. Right. Yes. In December, I think in December.
But last week, Dexter Tan informed us that Levan will be competing before that. They're already in conversation for that. So looks like East versus West has stepped into the situation, even though they have given all the privileges to Levan to decide when he wants to compete and who he wants to compete against. But that was in the past. Now it looks like they have told the fans that even though Levan wants to compete in December, we are going to make sure that he competes before that. He competes in our league. He's a contracted athlete. He has to show up on the arm wrestling table. If he isn't 100%, but the thing is, can Levan still refuse? Because recently East versus West has said after the Morozov situation that if you get injured, you have to produce some kind of medical document saying that you are fit to compete. Are they going to ask this to Levan too? Will Levan even be bothered to go to a doctor and tell them whether he's fit or not? All of these questions will be answered in the future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again.